It's August 19, 2025, and Bitcoin is sitting at fresh all-time highs. If you follow the famous 4-year cycle, you probably think the top is near. You'd expect the market to peak in October or November, just like it always has, and then collapse into another brutal bear market. But what if that's completely wrong? What if this isn't the end? What if it's the beginning of the longest, most powerful bull run in crypto history? One that could break every single record we've ever seen. And make sure you stay until the very end of this video, because I'll share a crazy price prediction for both Bitcoin and altcoins that you do not want to miss. Everyone believes in the 4-year cycle. It's treated almost like gospel in the crypto world. But what if the biggest myth in crypto is about to be broken wide open? For over a decade, the Bitcoin halving cycle has been the holy grail of market predictions. Every 4 years, supply gets cut, price rallies, then peaks, then collapses. It worked in 2013, it worked in 2017, and it worked again in 2021. Investors made fortunes just by following that pattern. But this time something completely different has happened. We've already lived through more than 600 days of sideways action, the longest consolidation in Bitcoin's entire history. People were bored out of their minds. Traders got liquidated. Some even walked away from crypto altogether. But here's the truth, markets don't stay compressed forever. A long consolidation builds pressure, like a coiled spring. And when that spring finally releases, the move is not just another rally. It's explosive, it's historic, and it changes everything. But cycles aren't the real story anymore. Because the game has changed. And it's not retail investors driving this market. It's something much bigger. So who's really behind this rally? The answer will shock anyone who still thinks crypto is just hype and memes. This bull run is different because it's being driven by institutions. In 2017, it was retail hype. In 2021, it was Elon Musk tweets and meme mania. But now, in 2025, the big players are in control. BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF has become the most successful ETF launch in the history of the United States. Not just in crypto, in all of US finance. That's historic. Harvard University, the same institution that once called Bitcoin worthless, is now holding millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin ETFs, and they're buying at $100,000 a coin. Sovereign wealth funds are entering. Corporate treasuries are allocating. And institutions behave very differently from retail. They don't panic sell when the market drops 20%. They don't ape into meme coins for fun. They buy billions at a time, and they hold for the long term. This creates a new kind of market. Instead of extreme pumps and brutal crashes, we're seeing steadier floors, smaller blow-off tops, and resilience when panic hits. That's why this bull run may not end like the others. It may not collapse right on schedule. It may keep grinding higher, longer than anyone expects. And if Bitcoin is this strong with institutions behind it, just imagine what happens when that money starts spilling into altcoins. Most people think altcoin season is dead. But the truth? It's just waiting for one switch to flip. And that switch may have just flipped. Here's the thing, altcoin seasons don't happen when Bitcoin is stealing all the attention, running 10% a day. They happen when profits start rotating out of Bitcoin. And right now, Bitcoin dominance is finally starting to break down from above 60%. Ethereum ETFs already brought in over $1 billion in a single day. That's not retail money, that's institutions piling in. Solana and XRP ETFs are coming. Even Dogecoin and Litecoin are being considered. For the first time ever, altcoins are going mainstream in a regulated, institutional way. That changes the entire landscape. Because suddenly, the average investor doesn't need to figure out crypto exchanges. They can buy Solana or XRP through their retirement account. Right now, the altcoin market cap is about $1.26 trillion. If it breaks above $1.5 trillion, we could see a surge past $2 trillion or more. And that would ignite the biggest altcoin season in history, the kind that takes forgotten bags and turns them into moonshots. But altcoins aren't moving in isolation. There's an even bigger force behind all of this. And it's not even inside crypto. What if I told you the biggest driver of this bull run isn't even crypto at all? But the global economy? Let's zoom out. The stock market has been on fire. The S&P 500 is up over 30% from its lows. The Nasdaq is hitting new records. More than 80% of companies in the S&P 500 beat earnings expectations this quarter. Inflation is cooling down. And prediction markets are betting on interest rate cuts starting as early as September. At the same time, AI adoption is accelerating, the dollar is weakening, and global liquidity is coming back into the system. This is what we call a perfect storm. When stocks soar, risk appetite spreads. And when liquidity flows into risk assets, it doesn't stop at equities. It spills into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and eventually into the entire crypto market. That's why this might not just be another cycle. This could be the beginning of a supercycle, fueled by forces much bigger than Bitcoin alone. But even that isn't the full story. Because the truth is, the very structure of this market has changed, and that's the real reason this bull run could break every record in history. So what happens when the biggest money in the world, pensions, sovereign wealth funds, corporate treasuries, treat crypto not as a gamble, but as an allocation? In past cycles, bull runs ended when retail ran out of money. Everyone who wanted in was already in. The music stopped. Prices collapsed. But this time, the buyers are different. Now, it's pension funds managing trillions of dollars. It's Fortune 500 treasuries reallocating from bonds and gold into Bitcoin. It's ETFs that funnel money automatically from millions of retirement accounts, every single day. Harvard is buying at $100,000. Sovereign funds are holding Bitcoin as part of their reserves. Corporate treasuries bought more Bitcoin last quarter than ETFs themselves. This isn't a short-term bubble anymore. This is a structural reallocation of global capital. And when that happens, cycles don't just end. They evolve. That's why this bull run may not only set new highs. It may shatter every record in crypto history. And now, as promised, let's talk about the crazy price prediction. If Bitcoin can hold above $120,000 through the fall, and ETF inflows keep accelerating, I believe Bitcoin could reach $200,000 by the end of 2026. For altcoins, if the total market cap breaks above 1.5 trillion and pushes past 2 trillion, we could see Ethereum doubling, Solana tripling, and some smaller altcoins going 10x or more. And yes, meme coins will likely explode again, because when the mainstream comes in and sees Bitcoin at 150 or 200,000, they're going to look for cheap alternatives. That's where insane moves happen. And that's why this moment might not be the end, it could be the start of generational wealth opportunities. Here's the bottom line. August 19, 2025 may not mark the end of the bull run. It may mark the beginning of a new era. A bull run driven by institutions, fueled by global liquidity, and amplified by altcoins. A bull run that could last longer, climb higher, and change more lives than any in the history of crypto. So now I want to hear from you. Do you believe this is the end of the cycle? Or the start of a supercycle? Drop your thoughts down below, because this debate is going to define the next year in crypto. And if you don't want to miss the biggest opportunities of this generation, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and join me. Because this bull run isn't stopping anytime soon. And you do not want to watch it from the sidelines.